What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live in a living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Make your next thing a big one. Today on the program, I have Argyro Graphy. Oh, who's that? Oh, you've heard of her. Yeah, you definitely have. She's an award-winning author and creator of Bentley the Hippo. And I look forward to talking to her. And you're going to hear a little bit more about her in the next few minutes, so stick around. This week's shows, I have one public show. My usual Friday night gig at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. The video dance party karaoke jam. Yeah, I said karaoke. You're the stars of the show. What should I sing, KeysDAN? What should I sing? You should sing whatever you want, whatever you feel, because it's all about you, at least for that 3 or 4 minutes while the song is going. You're the star of the show. They got a full bar, the kitchen's open, pool tables, pool tournament on Friday nights. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money, check out the Rab, Conway, Arkansas. Be there, 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM. All right, let's get into it with Argyro Graphy. I got her on Skype, so if you're listening to the audio version, I encourage you to check out the video version on my YouTube page, KeysDAN. Look it up. All right, party people, Skyping Argyro Graphy now. So, how do you pronounce your name?
Argyro.
Argyro.
I love the hippo.
I was getting kind of hungry for a gyro, and I'm sure you've gotten that your whole life.
You know what? You can pronounce it any way. I don't get offended.
No.
There's multiple ways you can. It's Argyro or Argyro.
No, but I want to put the right emphasis on the right syllable on your
Argyro.
name. Argyro Graphy.
Actually, you know what? Here, let me complicate things. It's Rula. my full name is no joke. My full name is Argyrula, which Argyro or Argery and Rula means the same thing. So when I started my author journey, and I had so many negative people, trying to put a damper on what I wanted to do, I thought, excuse the language, I thought, we're not live, are we?
Of course.
We're not.
Yeah, we begin. No, I always record these ahead of time, and then I'll put them out afterwards.
Okay, so I'm like, screw this. I'm changing my name. So nobody knew me by going by the official Argyro. So I published my books. Nobody had any idea. And I'm like, beautiful. Got rid of all that negativity.
Well, you see, I've never met a hater that's doing better than me. So obviously you were doing something right. If you were getting people upset, you were provoking, being very provocative. And that's a good thing I have found in my time. It's
the message of kindness.
For sure. For sure. So, okay. Argyrula, Argyro.
Just Argyro.
Graphy.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And Graphy, is that your God-given name, or is that a pseudonym as well?
Graphy in Greek means to write. So my author name is Rula Writes.
Everything comes from the Greek.
That's
Everything. Oh, I love it.
Give me a word and I will tell you how it came.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'm taking it back to the big fat Greek wedding. I appreciate that so much. Okay, I had no idea that you were Greek. I should have known. But no, and tell me, is Windex a thing? Inquiring minds.
It's the vinegar that's blue in Greece. So, and everybody, of course, it's the Windex. So I kid you not. People will turn around and say, maybe you should put Windex. And it's like, just okay.
All right. Yeah. Argyro Graphy, Bentley the Hippo creator, amongst other things. Because I look on your, you have 2 different YouTube pages, and one has a Christmas story on it. And I'm wondering, did you narrate that Christmas story?
No. I have no idea how I have 2 accounts. I apparently have accounts I know nothing about.
It's tough when you get big, you get people.
Oh, yes, big, yes.
No,
yeah, wide, yes, but big in terms of.
I resemble that. I'm twice the man I used to be. I mean, literally.
I have to say, I actually am working or trying to find somebody to help me with videos for Bentley. I really need you to do my intros. I just love your intros. Like I've gone back and I've watched some of your, your YouTubes and your intros and even your karaoke's, which God bless you. It's something that I would never do. But anyway, and then I'm like, okay, he really needs to do my Bentley intros.
Well, never say never. And I'm happy. I will be honored to do your intro. No problem. Well, I see for people that are listening to the audio version of this, I encourage you to check out the video version on my YouTube page, youtube.com/user/KeysDAN. And you'll be able to see the lovely Argyro Graphy right next to me. Hey, bye. And you have a background that is full of children's books. It looks like a veritable. Are you a teacher by nature, or what is it that got you into children's books?
I used to always get into trouble. There's the plan. No, actually, I wanted to write I actually wanted to illustrate children's books from a young age. And then, of course, a few little incidents, bullying was a big thing that scarred me for a number of years, and it prevented me from pursuing a career in actually illustrations. So as time went on, I mean, I excelled in everything that I did, all my roles and titles, and, from the very basic to up to executive roles. But I still wanted to do something with children. And then it was one day that a few things happened that, one of the things was that a friend of mine, her daughter was 6 years old, and she was bullied at school, which something triggered, and I thought, okay, you know what? Enough is enough. This is just got to stop. So I wrote my first book, just not for anybody in particular. It was for me to say that I did it. So I won that kind of battle. And I started getting emails and messages from parents and grandparents saying that their grandkids and kids were resonating with the story, and when's the next one coming out? I thought to myself, oh, there's going to be a next one.
So the first one started out as a therapy in sorts for you to kind of get you through. I'm guessing you were bullied, you said?
Yes.
And you were getting through that. Where did you grow up?
Where? In Toronto, Ontario.
Toronto, Ontario. Big city. And
yes.
A lot of kids at school. Did you have your own little group of friends that you can kind of get along with, or were you a loner, a rebel?
No, actually, to be honest with you, I turned to humor to mask the pain. And so I was actually the most popular girl in school. I mean that in a good way.
Sure.
And it was, I had always, the seniors were always, in my group, or I was in their group. But it didn't change how I felt inside. So it was almost like I was leading a double life, not wanting to. So the exterior was always happy and pleasant and, go lucky. And that's how I am, even today. But then when it's that silent, quiet time, the flashbacks, start coming back, and they are damaging. They are, I've been scarred. Some people get over it after a week, after a couple of, it's now been 40, something like that. Yeah. It's been a while.
I was born back in the 1900s myself. I understand. Back in 19, before I turned 50 years old, I was very shy about telling my age. But as soon as I turned 50, it's like a switch flipped. I'm 50. I can kick and stretch and kick. I'm 50 years old. And that's just a few years ago. I just celebrated my 53rd birthday. So I think age, it's for... When you're young, you want to hold on to that youth. But once you gain some experience, at least in my experience, in my time, I think I'm proud of the age I am. I've made it to this age. I have some knowledge to impart, just like you do. You've gained some knowledge in your years, in your 23 years of life on this earth, right? 20, yeah. Okay.
23 if you don't count summers.
Okay. Okay. So... Born, raised, Ontario, Toronto, big city girl. like a clown, laughing on the outside, maybe crying on the inside, bullied by one particular person, or was there a group of people? Three people. And did you ever get a chance to reconcile with them or see them at a high school reunion and say, hey, you were kind of mean to me, but water under the bridge, that kind of thing? I've been to 2 different high school reunions, and I got a chance to talk through some things when I did that. But did you ever get to reconcile? Or
with one of them actually ended up being my best friend's acquaintance. And I don't know whether or not it was anything further than that. I didn't care. And I remember one day that she said that so-and-so had asked, how things are. And she mentioned that she was going to meet with me. And it took him a while to kind of think of who I was. And then she said, we're going to meet. And I said, when she told me that, I said, absolutely not. I said, you know what? Leave the past where it is. I already have issues with flashbacks, and I don't need to have that visual, in front of me. So, and I thought there isn't anything that could be said, even on I'm sorry. And I'm a very forgiving person. So, you know what? Good luck with you. My best wishes to you, but you're not part of my life in terms of like the present, aside from memories and stuff. But there's not anything that anybody could say that is going to erase or fix the 40 years of me carrying this with me. So, and it's not, like I said, I'm very forgiving, and it's not that I'm going to hold a grudge, because like I said, good luck to you. I wish you well. If you get hit by a bus, it doesn't matter. Oops. I'm kidding.
I think there's a country song about that. I pray for you.
Yeah. So, and it's just the way I am. I'm the type of person that I want to avoid conflict and stuff. I'll just rather walk away and just let it be. So, yeah.
I'm along the same lines of forgive, but don't forget. But really, it's don't let them have that power over you. That when you start thinking about them, they're probably not even thinking about you at all. But you're letting them rent a little apartment space in your head for free. Yeah, just let the haters dive off. But it gets difficult sometimes, especially with this social media thing. If people start giving bad comments underneath, you get told all the time, forget the bad comments. I think, what was it, that Boz Luhrmann song where he was given a presentation, everybody's free for sunscreen, something like that. And in the middle of that speech, he's saying, forget about the bad things and only remember the good. And if you figure out how to do that, please let me know, because it's difficult. It really is. We're human. We're only human, and you can only take so many slings and arrows, and words may hurt you. Sticks and stones, but words may hurt you. But you know the power of a word. You've written many, many words. You've taken your first book that was therapeutic. What was that first book, and when did you write that?
I wrote it in 2019. It's Bentley Hippo is a character that I created. I was doodling, and like I said, I wanted to illustrate, but I didn't realize that I did a switch, and I ended up writing versus illustrating. So I don't illustrate my books, but I did create Bentley. I was doodling him one day and put the paper aside, and then the next day, a couple of days later, I find this piece of paper. And so I kind of built on it and everything. And I've got this creation. I thought to myself, okay, so now I want to write these stories. Who's going to believe me when I didn't go to school for any literary arts or anything? Who's going to even want to listen to what I have to say? Who am I? And so then one day it was that aha moment. I thought to myself, no, Bentley is going to tell the story, not me. And so I created the Bentley Series. So the first book was sharing. And I thought, what better way to, introduce, instead of just going straight into a lesson and, trying to preach. And so that was the first one in 2019, September 2019.
But you already answered my next question was, what training did you have to become a writer? And you said zero training. Well, what did you go to school for? Did you end up in college? What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a lawyer because I wanted to lock up a lot of my family, but didn't really work out.
At least
But
one? Any of them?
no,
No
that was
convictions.
one thing that I could say I was not successful at. I actually going through. I wanted to do something that was creative. I didn't care what it was, but I ended up working in a retail big box store, and I like organization. I like planning things. I'm more of a back end person versus up front and, in the spotlight. And so if you wanted me to organize and do things and, plan and do event coordinating and all that stuff, that was me. I loved stuff like that. So I ended up taking aesthetics.
Well,
I went to college for graphic arts.
Oh,
Talk about going right across, out in left field. There was an incident in the college where something with an instructor. And so we all had to, either put up with it or quit. So I quit and I thought, what am I going to do with my time now? And I was reading the paper, saw an ad for aesthetics. And I thought, oh, okay, you know what? Self-esteem, build up that. I ended up being an esthetician for 10, 15 years.
What is that? What is an esthetician?
Esthetician is all skincare and massage and all that kind of, yeah.
Well, you were talking about creativity and then going into the law. I've seen some court cases and some lawyers. They're pretty creative, with their defenses and even for the prosecution. They get pretty creative sometimes. So you never did get any further in the law with that. What did your parents do? What did your parents think when you were going into the what did your parents do? Let's start there. What does your dad do? What your mom do?
So my dad sadly passed away 6 years ago. Both my parents came from Greece. So my dad was a floor sander. So he was very talented. He was very well respected. Mom worked in a factory. She actually worked at Nielsen's chocolate bar factory. Hence the reason that I kind of, expanded. Yeah, I was always a volunteer. We're going for a tour. I'm there. I'll try the chocolates.
I mean, yeah, Nielsen's, it sounds like, all right, people say, oh, Hershey's is the way to go. It's really, you know what you're getting when you get a Hershey's, but it's not generally known as the best chocolate. I hope I haven't offended too many people in Hershey, Pennsylvania, but it's out, Nielsen, is that out of Canada?
Nielsen's, yes, and they have their ice cream brands and they have their chocolate bars and whatnot, and like Jersey, one is Jersey Milk, which would be, I guess, equivalent to a Cadbury. So Mom left after a while because we wanted to take a trip to Greece, and her boss didn't allow her to take the time off. She said, "You're going to take June off," which June was school, and so Mom said goodbye. And so Friday packed up. Saturday we were on the plane. So that's what my parents, and then my mom, stayed home and, took care of us and stuff. That's what my mom did. So my parents didn't really know back then. They knew of doctors, lawyers, teachers, period. There's no executive assistants or CEOs, or they didn't know any of that stuff or what a graphic arts is. And so my parents just encouraged us, whatever you do, make sure that you do it well, or, study and do things like that. So
you say us, you got brothers and sisters?
I have one brother.
What did he end up doing?
My brother ended up working for Ford Motor Company, and now he's in auto sales independently.
See, you can make a ton of money. My dad was a dirty used car salesman. I didn't know him very well, but by all accounts, he was kind of, I don't know, he was a used car salesman. With everything that you've seen, everything that you've heard, and you make your own money. You really do. If you develop a good reputation of being a good salesman in any respect, and cars or whatever. If you develop a good relationship with your customers, you can make a living, a good living there. Good on your brother on that. Salesman's a tough job. I did sales at Bally's, and oh my goodness, it was high pressure, but with the pressure came high dollars. But you said your dad was he worked with his hands. He's sander.
He was a floor sander, yeah.
Man, that
So
is
he,
some hard work. So you learned how to be bold from your mom, I'm guessing, and you learned hard work, work for what you want from your
from
dad.
dad.
That's good upbringing. Very
Yeah.
good. And then your brother, he learned all that. And then, be bold. If you want to quit your job and go to Greece, you go to Greece. So what did you think of the old country?
I love Greece. Things have changed. You go back to most of my family's back in Greece, and so you go back there and you really appreciate life. And I remember one thing that one of my uncles said that really stuck with me, and he said that the people in Greece, they work to live, and the people in Canada live to work.
I never really understood the distinction between the two. Is that you rather the live to work is where you'd rather work, and then the work to live is that you'd rather live, having fun.
So the people in Greece, they go put in their time because they have to in order for them to live the life that they want to.
Hoppa.
Exactly. For us, we would say, oh, we're working. So it would be like we're living our life so that we can go to work again and make more money versus just making enough money so that you could live. I'm not saying comfortably or luxuriously or whatever, but you have your basics without, needing to struggle. And, like paycheck to paycheck is tough. I'm on disability now and it's tough.
Now, how did that come about? I mean, you seem pretty healthy, strong. I mean, how did that come about?
So when I started my author journey and I overcame this bullying thing, I had a routine eye injection done. Everything went well, and I woke up blind. So I am legally blind in my left eye.
Wow.
So it was devastating because I felt victimized again, and it's still very hard for me. It's very challenging. I didn't realize because trying to get my bearings and whatnot, and I get dizzy and because I now have one eye. Yeah. It's not, there is no, I had 3 surgeries. They were successful in terms of the procedure and what they were meant to do, but they were unsuccessful in getting my vision back.
I don't know if it's coincidence or irony. I have vivid dreams sometimes. And this morning I woke up almost sweating in excitement that I was blind. I thought I was blind, and I figured I would have to rely on people to press the record button for me and let me know that somebody was actually there talking to me. I live for these conversations, to chat with people, and I couldn't imagine not being able to see the person that I was chatting with. I know that there's people that are listening to the audio version of this, and they're getting, a lot of information about Argyro Graphy and Bentley the Hippo. But, the people that are watching the video, the visual, seeing you, seeing the person, I could not imagine. I'm glad that you still have the one eye. The one eye, the man with the one eye is the king of the land of the blind, something like that. Very paraphrase.
It's I'm not gonna lie. It's every night that I go to sleep, there's that little, few seconds where it's like you take a deep breath and it's like, okay, I'm going to bed. Am I going to wake up with my vision? And it's a hard thing to live with. Yeah. And not to put a damper and everything. I mean, I do have everybody has their struggles. Sure. This is new for me. And I've been asked the question, is it easier for a young person to lose their vision, or is it easier for an adult? And it's a hard question because when you're a child, you only have experienced so much. When you're an adult, and then all of a sudden, boom, your life is just cut, But then again, like I said, I lost my vision. I still have, my one eye. And apparently, when you lose one eye, it strengthens the other.
Okay.
Which I didn't know. But having said that, it also opened up my eyes, pardon the pun, to the people and how they actually look at people with disabilities, which is shocking to me because I'm in the grocery store. My depth perception is gone. So to put my credit card into the machine, I take a few seconds longer, and I'll get comments from people like, "What are you, blind?"
Yes,
And
yes, I'm blind.
so I let it go the first time, the second time, but then it bothers you. And so the third time that I'd gone in and I had heard it, or it was the second time, sorry, I actually just looked at the person. And I said, "You know what? As a matter of fact, I am. Thanks for pointing it out." I took my card, didn't even finish the transaction. I walked out. No groceries, no nothing.
No, but you see, that's power that you gave them. You should have said, "Yes, I am blind," and then continue doing what you're doing. And then they feel like a total turd.
But that's where somebody has to work on that, giving up your power, which is hard sometimes because your emotions get the best of you. In a split second, you are like, "Okay, am I going to play this?" And so it's a work in progress. It's going to be a work in progress for me for the rest of my life. Oh, yeah. But having said that, I did give all my characters in my books disabilities. Bentley is visually impaired. I have a monkey who has ADHD. I have my giraffe has autism. My lion has diabetes and kidney issues, and my lion has alopecia. And the reason I chose to do this, was to try and normalize these conditions in the eyes of children, so that they don't, the saying, "Don't judge a book by its cover," which is, we all say it, don't judge a book by its cover. Why are we judging by the first impression without getting to know that person? And so that's the direction that I've now taken with Bentley.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I would probably identify with the monkey with ADHD, although my grandfather would say, "Oh, you just need a good swift kick in the pants." But I kid. And I realize that people struggle with all kinds of different problems. I was told one time, and it's something that I keep in the back of my head. If you put all your problems into a pot, if everybody put all their problems in a pot, you would grab your own problems back, because everybody's is going through struggles. You're half blind. I mean, literally, you're half blind, and can you drive? Are you?
I can drive. When the sun sets and it's got that kind of darkness with the oncoming traffic, their lights bother me. So I try to avoid that. I won't go because I'm not working. I won't go, during rush hour. I won't, I will give myself extra time. I'll take the longer routes. I like driving anyway, but thank God for that, because that's my independence. That's really my, and like you said, waking up without, seeing it all, having to have even your license cut, because I've always been the designated driver, and I was always volunteering. It's like, we're going down, driving even to the US, 12-hour drive. Hey, it's me, I'm doing it.
Well, the one thing about being disabled is you are able to set your own schedule now. You can devote time to this writing, this authoring. And I mean, man, the one eye thing is, you being a very visual person, being an illustrator, you still dabble in the illustration. I'm sure you must doodle still,
Oh, I doodle and I paint.
Yeah.
But it's just not, I never took that digital art so that I could, create. Otherwise I would be creating, my own books and whatnot. But, so I still doodle. It's part of who I am.
But okay, you said you paint. Do you paint like with oils and watercolors
Watercolors, mostly acrylic. I like doing acrylic.
Like the Bob Robbins thing? I mean, what are you dabbling in?
Just on, canvas and on paper and, art paper and stuff. Nothing that's, I'm going to go out and sell.
Oh.
I have my collection. I have actually a picture of when I was younger, I painted David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
From Van Halen.
Wait, a 1980s Dave Lee Roth? Like, tight pants, splits on the stage, jumping off?
I did him with the microphone singing, and I did his face up to his waist. And I pulled it out, it must have been maybe last year. And I thought to myself, what is this purple thing? And I pulled out the canvas board, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I did this in I think it was 1981. 83, something around there or something. And I was like, wow, I did this.
Well, okay, 81, he would have been straight rock, no synthesizers, but 83, they came up with the record 1984, and it was almost all synthesizers. I mean, there's two different David Lee Roths in that era there.
This was the rock.
Okay, he was all rock,
This
so it
was
might have been closer to 81, you know. But I imagine if you scan that or take it or tweet it to David Lee Roth, he'll be very appreciative of seeing something like that. Have you ever tried to get a hold of him on that?
No, let's just, back up and talk about, scanning and stuff. I am the worst person for tech. Anything to do with tech. I mean, you ask me to look up Skype and, or I get people that are tweeting me and they're, and I'm thinking going, okay, where is that button and where do I find, what did they do? And I'll text message them saying, you sent me something, where did it go?
Well, I'm adding you on Twitter, I'm adding you on Facebook, and I'm adding you on Instagram, and I'm going to tweet you all of the, I'm going to tweet you this exact podcast that we're doing right now to you, so you can have it for your records and so you could share it with your people. So
I can look for it.
Yeah, look for it. And wait, well, I mean, tell me about the personal life. When you got out of a school and you got into a little bit of graphics here and there, and you got into some retail stores. I mean, I did my share of retail. That was soul sucking in itself. But I mean, tell me about. Did you ever marry or have any kids?
No, I don't have kids. I did get married, which was, it was one of those things where you look in the mirror and you say, like, what was that? Like, what'd you do that for? What? It just did not, we did not click.
Well, I mean, but you try to find somebody with like interests and you say, hey, let's have a go at it.
Well, I actually found somebody that had the humor. Was, we shared humor and stuff. And I figured that, what, as long as we can laugh, because I've had there were enough tears. So, let's try that. And I think it was 3-4 months into the marriage, I thought to myself, this is a big mistake, but I kept quiet again because I didn't want to disappoint the European family. I didn't want to, you didn't try, you didn't whatever. And it lasted, I literally lived in denial and silence for almost 9 years. And it was just, when somebody comes up to you and says, you may as well just plan your own, funeral because you're just killing yourself by staying in that relationship. And I built up the courage and I thought, how long am I going to stay silent? I stayed silent for so long because of what had happened when I was younger. And now all of a sudden I'm going to stay silent again. So it was like a quick instant and I thought, we're done. Yeah. And I left.
Like a Band-Aid, like your mom with that, she had plans. Yeah, just mom, the boldness. Hey, enough is enough. Was he a Greek boy? Was he?
No.
Oh, no. Wasn't even a good Greek boy.
And it was, there's a lot of things that you give and take and stuff. But then when you start insulting, families and traditions and stuff, and I am, even though I'm Canadian, most of my upbringing, I would listen to Greek music. I'd watch Greek movies, even now.
Why not?
If you ask me Greek music or Canadian music, I could name Greek artists and Canadian and music and videos and artists. I can't so much with Canadian, with English music rather. And it's just that it's my love. It's my inner passion. And so you draw the line, you don't walk into my home, my family, insult them. And that was enough.
Well, I mean, Greek is definitely it's an ancient people.
Everything comes from Greece.
Everything comes from Greek. I mean, I've had DJing weddings. I've had a handful of Greek weddings, and they were some of the most memorable weddings. And one of them, I remember, it was a Greek girl, and she married like this country boy, and they were, opa, and just the Greek music, and the country people were just going, huh. yeah, I can get into this. And they got into it. Oh my goodness. You can't help but dance when you're at a Greek wedding. And that's not even, watch Big Fat Greek Wedding. That'll give you a taste of it. That'll give you a taste.
Yeah, we're crazy folks.
Oh my goodness, so much fun, so much dancing, so much love, so much joy. I could feel it on all those weddings. So good. But hey, things work out, things don't work out. You moved on. But
I moved on.
So you're living on your own, and you're writing.
So what happened was when I left, I had to undergo a surgery, and so because of the time frame, I said, I'm moving back in with my parents, and I did. And Dad got sick, so it wasn't, the time to just get up and, leave. And so, like I said, Dad passed away, going on 6 years, and so I'm with Mom.
That's good. That's good. It's two girls, two ladies, taking this world together.
She's Bentley's biggest fan.
Oh, that's fantastic. You see, it's good to have that support system. And you have all these things behind you. Bentley was born in 2019 out of a doodle. And that's the first book. And you said it was about sharing. But as it developed, you have different characters that have popped up. Is it Bentley just walking through, I guess, is either the water? Because I'm looking at this hippo behind me. They're always playing in the water. What do you put in about actual hippos into Bentley, or do you research hippos themselves, or is this all a work of fiction?
No, this is a work of fiction. So Bentley has his. I'm going to show actually. So he's
cute.
Here's Bentley. He's got shoes.
I like it.
So what I did with the series was. Bentley had a dream, so I wanted kids to dream big. And so the 5 books in the one series kind of take him through the different stages, and he meets characters and he teaches lessons. So the first one was meeting Jackson, the little monkey who thinks that throwing bananas is the way you share. And so which is funny. The second book we move on where Marty the lion, spoiler alert, Marty bullies Toby. But halfway through the book, Marty then becomes the victim. So the bully becomes the victim. So how do you like it?
I'm a fan of Karate Kid, the original first 3 Karate Kids, and the new Cobra Kai is turning it on its head. You always thought that Daniel was the hero. But now you're finding out that, hey, William Zabka, he was just trying to make it through. I mean, he was a little bit of a tough guy, a bully, but he had he was handed a set of cards, and he was only working with the cards he was
playing
dealt.
The cards, yeah.
Yeah, and the same thing with you're saying, hey, what might seem like a bully, think about maybe what his home life is, or her home life is, or how she's getting treated, how she's walking through this world. You're teaching lessons.
And so this one here is more or less because Marty the lion is actually very quiet. He doesn't roar and everything. And so he was provoked. So it was that peer pressure. So that was one of the bullying lessons because, bullying comes in all forms. And there's also peer pressure. So moving onward, then that's when the characters reveal their disabilities. When one little girl is in a hospital and she wants to give up. She's having treatment done. She wants to give up. Bentley and the friends get together and they encourage her and motivate her to keep going no matter what your struggles are. And that's when they reveal what their individual struggles are. So then as I move onward, Jackson, we have to teach Jackson how to be patient because he's a little bit, all over the place. And in the 5th book, finally, we get to go to the moon, but we don't because, well, we do, we don't. The animals are stopped by the gatekeeper or the ticket holder because they're all different. So now we're learning how to accept each other. So that's the 5th book in the series. Did you know that yesterday was World Hippo Day?
Yesterday was World what?
Hippo Day.
World Hippo Day. Oh, we're a day late. And we're talking about Bentley the Hippo. Well, tell me what did you do for World Hippo Day?
Well, World Hippo Day, we had some coloring pages and a whole bunch of things that kids got involved with. But I started also a giveaway. So it's on my website. It's the theme for this week up until actually the 24th is, since it's Kindness Week, my theme for this Kindness Week is my disability does not define who I am. So we're celebrating our differences. And so there's a giveaway with some other authors that, have donated their books, which talk about disabilities and differences and challenges. So we've got that going on. There is coloring activities, other different activities. There's the giveaway. We're giving away Bentley watches as well as books and things like that. So it carries on until the 24th, and we'll announce there's 20 winners to be won. What else are we doing? So that's basically it. Oh, we're ending on the 23rd of the month is Pink Shirt Day. I don't know whether it's global or if it's just or worldwide or if it's just Canada, but there was an incident where a little boy was bullied for wearing a pink shirt many years ago, and a bunch of seniors stood up to him, and they all wore pink. Oh, there's Ben. There you go.
I'm wearing pink. I'm
so
wearing my cancer awareness pink.
So it's also Pink Shirt Day is to stand up for bullies. So that's on the 23rd, and we have 2 of my books are free to download. One of them being the book that's about bullying. And so, so we're just, I just figured that, we need to really bring awareness to people that are different and not just, without being really, blunt or anything, without color, because everybody's focusing on, we're different because of our color. That's not the only way people can be different. And that's not the only thing that we should, accept. We're all equal. If you cut my finger, I cut your finger, we're going to bleed red, if we don't, we have a problem.
No, okay. Morgan Freeman said the only way to stop racism, stop talking about it. But I don't understand. I think the divisions, we're getting divided. We're getting more and more divided. We need to be getting along together. I mean, we recognize that we might look different, but we got to love each other no matter what. Oh my goodness. I know I do my karaoke shows, and I got the black, the white, the red, the brown, the purple, and the cripple and yellow. I think that was the Wonder Mike rap in Rapper's Delight. And I have all different kinds of people all singing songs, and they go, "Hey, what kind of crowd is this? Should I be singing a country song?" I say you should sing whatever song you want, whatever you know, whatever you want. And it's, if you feel it, they're going to feel it. They're going to have a good time. So you're exposing people, maybe a kid is quote unquote not disabled or not differently abled, but he's reading about this animal, this anamorphic animal that is differently abled, and it's going to think about it a little bit differently. And you're exposing them.
It's just so that when they see somebody, it's just ask, because not every disability is visible. And going back to being divided, I'm going to make a statement, which I stand firm on this. We don't have a problem. The problem is the labels that we are giving. And every time you come up with a label, you're going to further divide us. There is no more, whether you're black, white, why do we need to even say that? It's a person that did this, or it was a person that lost their life, or it was a person, it was a human being. It wasn't whether he was this color or that color.
Well, the only exception is going back to the law is when the cop has to give a description. Oh yeah, I want him to know I'm a white fat guy. I'm a fat Caucasian guy. Please help me.
I've used that for me. I've used it. Don't even try that. But a couple of kids were asked. They were shown 2 kids.
Yeah.
And they said, "What is the difference?" So one kid was a colored child, and the other one was a white child.
Yeah.
You want to know what the response was in the kindergarten class?
Yeah.
That kid has a red shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was nothing about the skin.
Oh no, the one that
So
came across my my Facebook feed just maybe last year or the year before was two kids with haircuts that were very similar, one black, one white, and the it turned out, I guess it was the white kid said, "Mom's not going to be able to tell us apart. We look so much alike with our new haircuts." Yeah, who says racism isn't taught? It is taught. I didn't know black or white until 6th grade. Or no, it was 7th grade because I went to Catholic school before that. And I didn't know. Sick. But when I got to 7th grade, they said, "Oh, that guy's different. You shouldn't like him so much." What?
And I chose to write about with animals versus I have kids, but I chose to feature animals because I thought I'm not getting into this with, and I hear it all the time. Why does this book only have one blonde kid? Why does this book not have a Chinese kid? Why does this? And I thought, no, we're sticking out of that. We're going to stick to animals, which are animals.
Yeah, but still somebody's going to say, "Oh, that's representing." Yeah, that's representing why, Jar Jar Binks was a rabbit-looking creature in Star Wars, and somebody said, "Oh, he's the Stepin Fetchit character from back in the 1920s that made fun of black people." I went, "Is he? Is he though? I thought he just had an accent. He was doing a funny voice, and I think that's on you. Is that you're projecting that from your own prejudice?" Yeah. I'm half Cuban. I'm half Irish, and I think I have first or second cousins that are black as midnight. I'm from the Caribbean. In Cuba, we had, I don't know whether I'm black, white. I see that little checkbox whenever I'm filling out a report, black, white, Hispanic. I don't know. Maybe I'm 2 or 3 out of these boxes. Which box do I press? Which box do I check?
Why do you even have to answer that?
Why do I have to? Oh my goodness! I guess it's all political. We got to get the black vote. We got to get the Cuban vote. We got to get the.
Yeah. So for me, it's the labels. Get rid of the longer we have these labels, the longer and the more divided we will become.
Well, I'm glad that you're helping.
That's an exclamation mark.
Yes, I'm glad that you're helping to bring, a view, letting people see themselves. I think that's the one thing is the through line. Whenever I listen to people talking about movies, "Oh, I don't see myself in that movie. All I saw was somebody who didn't look like me. It was but I never saw anybody that looked like me up in a movie doing what I thought." But you're letting the people that are differently abled see themselves in your books, in your writing. I know whenever I'm in line and there's a 7-year-old behind me, not a 50-50 chance they're going to say, "Huh, that guy's fat." And kids are honest that way. I appreciate that honesty. Yeah, talk to me about how fat I am, or they're going to see somebody in a wheelchair. "Hey, what's that wheelchair?" They're inquisitive. They want to know, and you're going to give them that on questioning what's in the world around them.
There's one thing that I got involved with for the visually impaired. My books are other authors have also participated. There's an organization, Imagination Video Books, and they are converting now books into video books with audio descriptions. And so my books, all 5 of my books in the series have been converted. And I have to say that anybody that does it or actually listens to it, and it's free, you can go, watch the or listen to the video books. Close your eyes. If you've got both of your eyes, one eye, whatever, close your eyes and listen to the story. You will have a much better appreciation for those that are visually impaired. You will get a taste of their world. And I actually, when I got the first one done for Bentley and I received it, I closed my eyes. Literally, there were tears just, flowing down. It was just something that was just, it was so touching for me and so moving that was the best thing that I did, was to offer my books, and it's zero cost, zero. The gentleman that does it. It's a family thing for him. That's his legacy. And he's doing phenomenally. And I'm deeply honored that, that Bentley books are available for the visually impaired.
Well, whenever I tell people that I read a book, I didn't read a book. I listened to a book. These days, I have time where I'm driving around. I'll listen to a podcast. I'll listen to an audio book. You've added that one more piece of depth to your books. Now, you can give shout outs to the people that have helped you along, the people that illustrate and the one that helped you with the creating the visual, audio visual design. Give shout outs to people that have helped you along the way.
I have a few people that have been doing a wonderful job. My current illustrator, Michael Reyes, he's in Colombia. He actually, tweaked Bentley into a digital form, and he's the one that's responsible for the artwork, and he captures the expressions and everything really well. I mean, when I get the samples and some of the pages done, I laugh. It's perfect, So I have him. Richard Ryman from Imagination Video Books is the one that is converting the books. He's also going to add is it the American Sign Language in the corner where they put the person that does the sign language?
Wow, that's
I don't know what it's called. So he's going to be adding that as well to the books. So, I mean, that just opened up a whole new world for me. My marketing, I have now a marketing gentleman, George Souza. He's from Serbia, and he's taking care of a lot of, the tech things. But he's doing a great job. He represents Bentley very well, and so I'm thrilled. There are some other authors that have helped me, with their feedback, with their critiquing, with, there are way too many to mention. So that's where Bentley stands for the time being.
Well, Argyro Graphy, on your I'm sure I fouled your name up. I'm looking at your YouTube page. You have 4 videos on the A Graphy page, and you have the one video on the Argyro Graphy page. But who's helping you with those videos? You said you weren't very tech savvy. Who's making the videos for you?
Hence the reason that there's multiple accounts. I have no idea what I'm doing. I actually, so the video books I found somebody who, she doesn't do it anymore. She does the narrating. And so I found her, and she narrated the story, did the audio, the audio books. And then the video was actually just from PDF from my illustrator, and then we just we merged the two together. I didn't. And then you upload them. My books are also available in audio. But when you said about you listening to audio, you do a lot of you don't read the books. It's different for children's books because children's books are all visual.
Yeah.
So when you actually get the descriptive audio that says there is a green hippo, he's wearing red shoes, there's a monkey that's got a tan face, it takes on a whole new world so that you get to experience. But the videos, YouTube, I'm still trying to figure that. I really am trying to figure that out.
Well, I mean,
I think there's a third page, Bentley Hippo, to be honest with you. And that's where other video, the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson did a reading on Bentley. We had 100,000 views in 11 days, 14 days, something like that.
That's a win. That's a win. I mean, I was going to let you know the books that I like the best are the ones that are read by the actual author, because the author, you would put more feeling, more inflection into that character, because Bentley. You birthed Bentley. But I guess having the Duchess of York reading your book is not too bad either. Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
No, I am actually going to attempt to narrate my books, because I have a second edition coming out. I've tweaked them a little bit, and so I'm going to attempt. I'm not saying that I will succeed. I will attempt to read my own books, and I do Zooms with with children. And so, I read them anyway, but to actually hear my voice recorded and things, we'll see how that goes.
Well, I mean, how do you want people to contact you if they want to if they need to get this book? Where do they go?
So you can purchase the book, all my books, and all the novelty items like the watches, the inspiration coin that's given to the little girl in book number 3 is actually a coin that you can buy, and it says you can do it on it with Bentley. Those can be purchased on my website, but we're available online on Amazon, of course, Barnes and Noble, what is it? iBooks or iBooks, I guess. Our audiobooks are on Google Play as well. Walmart, Chapters, Indigo. So we're just about, everywhere. But you can contact me through the online form on my website, bentleythehippo.com. My email address is argyro@bentleythehippo.com. Again, that information is on my website.
Argyro, yeah, I'm looking at the bentleythehippo.com, a great website. Did you build that yourself?
Well, it's one of those drag and drop things, but yes, I did that. I had a week to do that when I switched over platforms, and I thought to myself, oh my Lord, what did I just, take on? And I did it. So it's not perfect. It's not, I have my marketing guy is actually going to build a proper website for me, because there are some really interesting things and really creative things that I want him to incorporate. So that's got to be custom made. But for the most part, it's doing what it's supposed to do right now.
I mean, it's got a shop. It's got a place where you can, people that want to support you monetarily definitely can come and buy some merchandise from you. But, then you have not only a bio for you, but you have a bio for each of your characters: Bentley, Jackson, Toby, Daisy, Marty. They all have their own little bios. You can get to know a little bit more about Argyro's. I know I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but pronounce it one more time. Argyro. Okay. I know I'm hungry for gyros. That's what it is. That's the problem.
Argyro. Same thing.
Argyro. The Argyro Graphy.
Bentley's mom. I actually get people that call me send me emails saying, Mrs. Bentley, can Bentley come to my birthday party?
Oh my goodness. That is, I mean, I saw you already have a doll. Can people purchase the Bentley the Hippo doll?
We're tweaking it. There's still some revisions that need to be done, but I'm the one that is, the most antsy that I want a Bentley, a Bentley plush.
Yes, so they can sleep next to it, so they can hold it while they're getting the book read to them. Oh, it gives them that much more ownership over this character and more closeness with the character. Bentley is your friend. Jackson is your friend. Toby, Daisy, Marty, they're all your friends. And Argyro Graphy, I'm very happy to have you on my list of friends as well. It's definitely good to have a conversation with you. I appreciate this so much. And I don't want
this has been an absolute honor for me. So I thank you.
Well, I don't want this to be the last time that we talk. As things progress, and if you want to pop back on, it doesn't have to be the whole hour, but if you want to pop back on and talk about the latest offerings or new merchandise or where you're going to be. I mean, do you say you offer readings? Do you go to your local library and read the books, or is it all Zoom?
I do Zoom right now.
Okay.
I do Zoom.
How can they Zoom you?
I'm sorry?
How can people get a hold of your Zoom?
Through, I usually put the links on my Facebook page. Now, again, there's, some little tweaks and little things that need to happen. But I'm trying to put everything on my website, and kind of as a holding space, I'll put it on Facebook just to get it out there.
Right.
Because it takes me a little time to adjust my website, and I'm working slow on that, and I always fear that I'm going to press a button and delete something that I shouldn't have.
Well, you make a little event on your Facebook page, on your Bentley the Hippo page, and it lets people know when you're going to be Zooming and when to click.
And do lives. There is one thing, because of Kindness Week, and we spoke about bullying, is that I have a kindness oath on my website for kids to download, and it's an oath for them to, I promise not to, to use my words better. I use my hands for helping, not hurting, things like that. And I've actually had quite a few teachers that have asked for that oath. So if any of the listeners, want it for their home or for their classrooms or anywhere really, it's a kindness oath that you can. It's in the kids section, the kids printable section.
How sweet is that?
You can download that.
You've created a mythos. You've created a whole universe. It's an amazing superpower that you have, Ms. Graphy, that you can do this. It came out of your head onto paper and into people's hearts. And that's a wonderful thing. Well, I usually like to finish these things off with the last words for the people. So if you have any last words, people, that words to live by, maybe something you heard a long time ago, or maybe, just something you wake up with every morning, or whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. Argyro Graphy, last words for the people.
I think the best thing that I could leave you with is that we need to really promote kindness. And, it's something that everybody says, and, talking about inclusion and diversity. But I think that even as adults, we are still, we have a lot to learn. Whether it's other people, the way people live, the struggles that people have. It's that, kindness is free. It's not going to cost you anything. And there's no excuse to say that I couldn't do it. You can't afford to buy a car, but you can afford to go and say to somebody, do you need help? So that's probably the best thing that I could leave you with.
Oh my goodness, what a nice lady. There she is. Argyro Graphy, creator of Bentley the Hippo, and other characters too. My goodness, there's so much more to her. She developed these characters out of her own mind and put them on the paper, and is teaching your kids. Yeah, teaching your kids, my kids, teaching our kids how to share and be aware of people and feelings, and don't bully. Yeah, taking the pain that you might have experienced when you were younger and turn it into something good. Yeah, you could have gone a different direction, but no, you turned it into something good, something that we all can use. A little more love, a little more sharing, a little more caring, a little more happiness. Keep that smile on, and don't let those bullies have any of that power. Yeah, don't let them have any power over you. I know it's going to happen sometimes. They're going to get to you. And they're going to keep beating you down and beating you down and beating you down. And eventually, you might lose your cool. Like that one time that Fonzie lost his cool on Happy Days. Oh, and then he said, ooh, I'm so sorry. I lost my cool. Don't lose your cool. Be cool to others. Yeah, be excellent to each other. Thank you, Argyro Graphy. I know I pronounced your name like 12 different ways during the course of this podcast, but I appreciate your kindness in not correcting me too much. Argyro Graphy. I think that's where I'm going to land. I know it looks like Gyro because I'm hungry. Only because I'm hungry. But that's a good mnemonic for people that need to remember how your name is spelled. R-A-R, Gyro. Put a Gyro in there. Argyro Graphy. All right, party people. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. Now I'm turning my attention to you. If you would like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call. 501-470-6386 or email KeysDAN@AOL.com. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.